It is the 7-year anniversary of Critical Role! This is an amazing, fantastic, incredible feat. The anniversary episode is being shown in theaters around the country, as well as outside the country. I think they said Brazil. Is that right? I imagine that they would film this in front of a live audience like they've done before, or maybe they'll dress up in costumes or have a special episode with an amazing combat encounter. And guess what? None of that happens. In fact, it was one of my least favorite types of D&D adventures, the road trip. If you are here, I am the BookTube Goddess, the #1 drag queen booktuber on YouTube. I review Critical Role in terms of storytelling, so there will be spoilers. We are on episode 17 of the Bells Hells campaign, and I almost went to a theater to watch this, but I would have had to take off work because I work nights. And I'm going through a home renovation, so there's a lot going on, so that wasn't in the cards. If you saw the episode in a theater, let me know down below in the comments what it was like. I have to admit, I was expecting a little something for the anniversary episode, so was a little bit disappointed that there wasn't anything special. I think it would have been really nice if last week's episode was the anniversary episode, but you cannot just plan that sort of thing in a D&D campaign. So what did we get instead? We picked up with the cliffhanger of last week when Imogen was meditating on the purple crystal where she felt the fey energies of the Nightmare King pulling at her. And she fell asleep holding it and had her recurring nightmare of the Red Storm, where she hears her mother's voice yelling, "Imogen, run!" By the way, this is my Imogen's mother outfit. Only this time, Imogen was holding the purple crystal in her hand, and it seemed to offer her another path.
Winds crashing past your ears, tearing past your face, having to guard your eyes from the dust being thrown into them. You think to yourself, this is coming to eat you like it always does, and you hear once again in your mind that familiar voice, "Imogen, run." And right as the phrase finishes, you sense something in your hand. You glance down and see in the palm a small purple gem. And something is comforting about the gem also. It offers a different path. It offers a different means of escape. The voice shouts again, "Imogen, run!" What do you do?
Fuck. I take a few steps back. What is this?
Flashes of red are sparking throughout the cloud as the bulk of the storm begins to hit the space where you stand.
I turn and start running. Mother! Mother!
You've not delayed like this before, and you can feel the wind battering your back. The hair being tossed to and fro across your face, blocking your vision. You trip and stumble and pick back up and keep going. You can feel the heat behind you, pushing. The stone still in your hand. You see in front of you the farmhouse. So far, but you keep running, and you keep running. The heat in your lungs is beginning to burn from breathing, the exhaustion kicking in. You run, and you hear the voice, distant, muffled. "Imogen,
This is your fault.
run." You get close before you wake up.
So instead of immediately running away like she usually does, she hesitated and the storm almost overtook her. So she wakes up and can't get back to sleep and spends the rest of the night in the bar downstairs. Then in the morning, everyone else wakes up and FCG does an identify spell on the crystal and finds out it is a gnarl rock, a crystal from the Feywild that is known to mutate everything around it. Also, remember the Nightmare King is known for mutating living creatures. And I kind of wonder if the Nightmare King wasn't a normal Fey Lord at one point and was himself mutated by the Gnarl Rock. Imogen wonders if she should trust the Gnarl Rock to battle her nightmare, and Laudna suggests maybe she should just give it a try. But Imogen doesn't tell anyone that she felt the energies of the Nightmare King within it, which I think would have probably changed Laudna's mind on suggesting that. Anyway, Imogen decides to carry the crystal in a sack at her side. So, she is carrying a crystal that is known to mutate things, and she's carrying it on her person. Somehow, I don't think that's going to end up well. Last week, I was hoping they'd stick around Drusar so we could find out more of what happened with Lady Emoth and the storyline with the Treshies, especially now that they're allied with the Greenseekers. But no, Bell's Hells is finally going to the Heartmoor. They meet with Gianna Hexam to get more details on their mission. She has a bet with Evan Hytroga that her team can steal something from his museum before another team can get to it. This other team is sent by her rival, Mistress Isha Sabanis. And the whole setup seems just a little bit crazy to me, but we're rolling with it. Remember, there's other things to uncover in the Heartmoor, notably Orym following up on his mission to find out what happened with the Loomis twins, and Imogen wanting to find more clues on her nightmares of the Red Storm, which the Loomis twins were investigating. The party splits up into 3 groups to make preparations for the journey. Ashton and Orym take FCG to the Crook House, where Milo, the Tinkerer, takes a look at FCG because FCG appeared to be glitching last week. He finds that FCG has excess energy, and they ponder ways to release this energy.
It's hard to pinpoint, but it looks like there's a lot of just like a pent up energy. It's like a faint vibration or buzz to the body. It's odd.
Pent up energy?
Yeah.
Okay. Where? And like, is it being stored
Just
anywhere?
listening and listening.
God, do I have to have sex to get rid of it?
No.
Let it out.
No.
Let it out. Self-help. Self-care.
Yeah, self-care.
So many options. Oh boy. I have
campaigns
one
in it.
regular hand and one buzzsaw hand.
You're pent up, you're buzzing, you're halfway there.
This was only a matter of time before it all became just a dating simulator at the table.
Think of it more like you have
Welcome.
something for everybody.
That's right.
But while we don't get any resolution on that, FCG does get some upgrades. Meanwhile, Imogen and Chetney procure horses and a cart. And the last team, Fern and Laudna, go to Lord Eshtaroth to update him on everything they just encountered. This is my favorite bit of comedy relief, at least in this episode, as Fern and Laudna are the least qualified party members to coherently communicate with Lord Eshtaroth.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We have much to tell you.
Very well. I am at your disposal.
Whew, where to even start?
Where did we
She doesn't know.
leave? Why did we come here?
We came.
Big story, method actor.
Can I tell them about the slug?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So we were leaving to go to the Heartmoor.
Yes, the
Area.
Heartmoor. The Heartmoor.
The Heartmoor Hamlet. to go do some stuff there.
Right.
But
Get out
on
of
the
town.
way there,
Of course.
Yes.
we were on the bridge and we got stopped by the Greensleeves. The Greensleeves. And they stopped us, and then we ended up going to fight the. Oh my god!
Come on.
Tell him what we saw.
I think you should tell him.
All right.
First
So
episode of Drunk History.
the greenkeepers were like,
You were taken by the Green Seekers.
the green seekers. That's what it is, not keepers. We've got
That's right.
badges. They deputized us.
Yeah, we're part of their. It's a whole thing. We're deputies now,
Yes.
but we went underground.
Genuinely is like, what the fuck?
So we went to the smolders mine.
Yes, to the underbrush mine. Underrush mine.
Yep.
Because the green seekers were like, ooh, you're responsible and you're interacting with all the shady people.
And then the guy Gus was also dating one of the people that was working at the underbrush farm. It was this whole thing that was so crazy.
Yes, Octis. Do you know Octis?
I know not of this individual.
It was very dramatic.
So we went down below.
He starts like looking over towards his half-finished breakfast. Like he's just
We're
you're starting to lose
losing
him.
him.
We went down
Go on.
below, and we fought a bunch of shade creepers. But then we found
It's like creepy, and I kind of ever so slightly start transforming into like what she looked like. Like slug monster named the Shade Mother. And she was like speaking in our minds and shit. And she was like, ooh, come be my children. Ha.
she was like
It's terrifying.
60 feet long. She had like a really big sluggy ass, and
She
It's
would like,
gross.
she had like a secretion. She would like secrete on us.
That
it
is
was kind of
disgusting.
like a caramel sharding.
Yes.
He adjusts his cravat.
Yeah, it's gross.
Caramel sharding.
But then
We captured, yes,
Oh.
captured.
Wow.
captured Lady Emoth in a circle, and got her out of there.
We had to roll her down the street.
Go get some popcorn.
And a purple stone that changes people.
That's apparently called a gnarl rock, and it's like from the Fey realm or something.
This was yesterday.
Yes. So basically, we just came to tell you that all the shade creepers and all the stuff coming out of the walls and the holes, there's a big mother down there that's doing all of it.
But Lady Emoth is arrested and in the hands of the Green Seekers. Oh, and Green Seekers. And they said that they were being employed by Mistress Tashadri.
Interesting.
There it is.
Dun, dun, dun.
It just hit there was a lot of backstory that we had to give you.
Yes.
That
And we're gonna go now, but we just wanted to tell you all of that.
Thank you very much.
And then everyone meets up, buys supplies. Strangely, they don't stock up on magical supplies, but they get together on their horses and begin traveling towards the Heartmoor. And they've been warned repeatedly that they should stay on the path. This is what I call a road trip adventure. It's honestly my least favorite D&D adventure, but it is a necessary part of any campaign to get any sense of distance between places. Since traveling through wilderness is necessarily dangerous, you've got to play it out day by day in order to see if the party has any what is called random encounters. A random encounter is usually a table of possible encounters, like a group of bandits or a goblin raiding party or some random monster. I think it's usually a percentage roll to see if what's encountered, but Matt uses a 20-sided dice, and I'm sure he has a custom random encounter table, and we find out one thing that's on it when Orym rolls a natural 20.
I would like somebody to roll a d20 for me, please.
Start over here. We'll
Yeah,
make our way
sure.
down. Big money, no wow. That means natural 20.
Woo! Oh my
That
god.
That means we fight a dragon.
Right.
Means you roll a d6 for me, please.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Let's roll the everything is wrong die. 1.
Okay.
Oh God, my stomach's
Well,
messed up.
Yep.
Might as well just
Is
do
it a dragon?
Jumping immediately out of the brush from the right to the left. For a split second, you almost see time slow as this large dog-sized, like a timber rabbit, leaps out of the brush, probably about 4 feet from end to end. You can see where the ears are. They're long and kind of dragging behind the head about an additional 2 feet. Has this heavy mane of wild matted light brown fur around its face. And its jaw, something that glimmers, this odd pinkish coloration, as it just darts off into the jungle off the left-hand side.
Orym, you want to chase after it off the honored path?
Is that what we're doing? We're chasing animals?
I don't know.
that
It
run
seems
past us?
interesting.
That seems like just.
Oh, fuck! You dart 30 feet into the jungle, kind of dodging through. Make a stealth check for me as you do so.
That's where my level
You're so
started.
No, I'm not. Oh, it's a 1. I get to re-roll it.
Can I try to do a rabbit call?
15.
Sure, make a.
Only if you do it for us.
Sure.
Okay. Go ahead and roll, and I'll say an animal handling check on this one.
11.
What does it sound like?
Ooh.
Okay.
That was good, man.
And then what was
Sounds
your
like
follow-up?
squirrel.
15. Okay. As you're making this call out into the open jungle around you, you dart into the brush, and you can just see it kind of like leap, stop a little ways ahead, kind of like hear something odd in the sound of the direction of the rest of your crew. That strange kind of clicking sound. It listens for a second, wiggles its nose. You can see that strange kind of pink object in its mouth still.
Can I see what that is?
Make a perception check for me.
Drop it.
Natural 20. And a 19.
Ooh.
Damn.
Okay, for a total of 25.
It is a smoothly polished stone about that big that it's just kind of holding in its mouth like a toy. You do begin to creep up quietly in the direction of where you heard the sound over the next few minutes. Keeping low, pushing past different low-hanging vines and bushy ferns and kind of different kinds of ferns, until eventually you see, low to the ground, the strange polished gem on the ground in front of it. You see the bunny creature kind of smelling it and looking around, its ears kind of up a little bit, the flopping kind of down by its shoulders.
Druidcraft, the saddest, tiniest little carrot.
It doesn't see you yet.
Okay.
It stoops down to pick up the gem in its mouth quietly. It looks like it's beginning to prepare itself to continue its path away. What do you do?
I drop the carrot and sprint, and I'm going to try to grab the stone.
Okay. You were just darting for it.
Yes. Now I drop stealth and just book it.
Okay. I will say, go ahead and roll d20, add your initiative modifier.
I get advantage on initiative rolls. Can I add that?
Yeah, for this instance.
Thank God.
19.
19, it got a 16. So you do manage to go first. So you dart outward, it turns to see you, and for a second you see its feet kind of grinding into the dirt as it's trying to escape, but it can't quite catch enough friction yet. And as it's beginning to put its hands down to pick up a moment to burst out with all of its strength, you catch up right towards it and you're trying to snatch it from its mouth.
Snatch it, yep.
All right, go ahead and roll an athletics check to try and pry it from its mouth.
Come on.
God, come on.
Steal from the cute bunny.
Why do I have advantage on that? That's the rope, which is gone. The rope. Okay.
Oh, the rope would have been so useful here.
22.
Right in this moment.
22.
Yeah.
Nice.
It rolled a 20 altogether.
Oh, nice.
You're a lucky motherfucker. So you reach out and you grab behind its mouth, and you can feel like kind of the hot breath and the moisture in its jaw, and as you grab it around the stone, it tears away, and for a second you're afraid that it's just gonna bite down and take your finger off. Like up close to this creature, it looks cute from a distance, and up close it looks a little monstrous, or at least a little dangerous when skittish in this instance for its size, and it is technically bigger than you by all accounts.
Yeah.
With that though, you manage to
Everything is.
Yep. You manage to twist it and pull it free from its mouth, and it kind of bites after your hand, but you pull away, at which point it kind of pauses for a second, looking at you, its head to the side, and then darts off a huge leap.
And I go in the opposite direction.
Orym chases it and grabs a crystal out of its mouth, and they find out it's some sort of spell focus, which he gives to Imogen. We don't know quite how it works, except Imogen can roll on the wild magic table when casting a spell once per day. Anyway, I can't wait to see what happens with that. They also find a little flower called a chromatic rose that turns out to be a one-use item that can either absorb electrical damage or cast a lightning blast. The most interesting thing that happens, I think, is when they take watch shifts at night. They take watch in pairs, and the two characters have some sort of conversation while they keep watch. So there are 5 days of travel, so we get lots of conversation, which seems more organic, at least for me, than the what the fuck is up with that game they played at the bar. Anyway, we get backstory, and it is a bit of an info dump, but they're little small dumps of info, which is pretty digestible. But we get two pretty big revelations. During one of Orym and Chetney's shifts, we discover that Orym had a husband. So he's gay, or bisexual, or pansexual, or somewhere on the rainbow spectrum.
Do you have any experience with our kind? I mean, I see the love.
The love?
For the moon.
Oh, yeah.
What's that for?
The ink?
Well, the moon.
The moon.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Love.
It's to help me remember my husband.
Oh. And is he not? Oh, I'm sorry.
Thanks.
Again, it's a beautiful piece.
Yeah, I like it.
Can I ask what his name was?
Yeah. Will. His name was Will. Still missing. It's been 6 years. Still missing.
6 years.
Yeah. You know what, though? This time we had was real good. And I'm not gonna lie, I mean, I most nights miss him, but the time we had was real good.
That's great. Was this back with the Arashari?
Yep. He died that day.
The attack.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, this is personal for you. This is all connected to that.
Oh, yes.
Oh, fuck.
But it's also my duty. And it was his. All of ours.
We find out his husband died during the attack in Zephyra, which is what is giving him a very personal stake on this mission to discover who or what was behind the attacks. The other revelation occurs during a watch shift with Orym and Laudna. Now, I don't know this, but I am pretty sure that every theater audience went crazy when this was revealed. Actually, it probably would be worth the price of admission just to be part of the audience when this revelation went down, because I know the fans went nuts. We knew that Laudna is some sort of undead from Whitestone and is possessed by Delilah Briarwood, or Delilah lives in her head, or something like that. But that backstory gets expanded on.
Laudna. I'm gonna keep looking around.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was it like in Whitestone? Because I don't know a ton, but what I do know sounds hard.
It was pretty rough. I was a bit naive, too. The real Whitestone. Was living a simple life. Just kind of assumed that that's how all cities were. A little terrified. But everyone just tries to suck it up and go along, right?
Any good memories, or was it?
Oh, sure. I had a lovely childhood. I lived on the outskirts, on farmland. You know, my days were spent running in the forests and digging up worms, and running around bare feet.
This is long before them, right?
They came in sometime in my youth. And yes, things slowly started to change. It wasn't an overnight shift. Political coups were so out of my family's purview. We were also ignorant, I guess. Try not to concern yourselves with the problems of people who make a lot more money than you.
It's a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
This might be too forward, but do you remember much about the end?
Like the end? There are some blank spots, yes. But I remember quite a lot, for better or for worse, I guess. My parents thought that getting an invitation to the palace, to the castle, to meet the Lord and Lady Briarwood was a great boon. We were promised a wonderful feast and an amazing party, and we were told we were going to be serving a greater purpose for Whitestone.
I would say it's a crapshoot. It's not like I was best friends with my boss. I was just an employee. But it's possible I would have overheard discussions of this. Can I roll to see if I
I'll let you
understand
go ahead and roll a
that?
history check.
Come on. Biggest roll of the night.
History?
Yes.
23.
Like a shock of lightning in your head, you make the connection. You heard the terrible tale of what happened.
You know what's interesting about you?
I would hope a great deal of many things.
Well, there's the obvious. But you're the happiest person in this bunch.
Of course. The worst thing that's ever happened to me has already happened.
So, Laudna was one of the victims of the Briarwoods who was murdered and hung up as an effigy of one of the Vox Machina characters. Since she was human, her ears were carved into points to make her look elven or half-elven. My guess is that she was the effigy of Calith, who was a half-elf and was Marisha's character during Vox Machina, so that seems to all make sense to me. Anyway, it was a pretty big and pretty great revelation, which I am sure has critters going bonkers everywhere. The final night encounter occurs during Imogen and Ashton's watch shift. They see a little glowing fairy in the distance. They try to communicate with it, but nothing happens. They eventually wake Fern, who just tells them, oh, let it alone. They're just rats of the Feywild. But Eventually, Fern does approach it. Now, they have to keep making saving throws, and Ashton and Imogen make their saves, but somehow they think if they fail, they'll be able to communicate with the fairy, which doesn't really make sense. That's not how saving throws work. But anyway, so at first, they're really happy when Fern fails her save, hoping she'll be able to communicate with the fairy. Unfortunately, that's not what the saving throw is for.
Backing up.
As you kind of go over and set it over there, the wings kind of, a light kind of glows again. Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw as well.
Fail.
This'll be funny.
He's
Fail.
gonna crawl into your nostril.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Say it.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Can't talk to us.
Can you just let it in?
It feels like it's trying to reach out and communicate, but you fight it off.
We'll never.
It starts to withdraw.
Oh no! We
I
always
walk up
roll
away
too
from
good.
What the fuck?
all the 20s we've ever had.
Should I wake up Fern? Maybe she can talk to it.
Maybe.
Maybe she can
see kind of like-
understand. Oh, wait, Fern.
Wait, Fern!
Wait, there's a fairy.
Whoa.
Oh, you know what? Maybe Fern has seen those kind of creatures before.
What's happening?
We think there's a fairy or a pixie or a fae. He's got
Oh,
wings.
bitches! No, go back to bed. Leave it alone.
Huh.
I just go back to sleep.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Fuck.
Hell yeah.
All right.
I feel like we should have learned something here. I just don't know what it is.
No,
Don't
I'm
wake
just
up
kidding.
Fern
What do
is
you?
the lesson.
What do you? What? If you guys actually saw a little something or other?
He was glowing, and I felt like he was like pulsing, and he was trying to communicate with me. But I feel like it could have been bad, but maybe it was good. I don't know. I actually have no idea.
You can faintly see the glow of it now, like 50, 60 feet away, just kind of withdrawing.
There's a small cry emanating from it.
Go get it.
Those are like rats. Just
I'm taking my fucking sleeves back.
The pizza rats of the Feywild.
sometimes. Well, hold on. Let me do my fairy cry.
Oh.
Awoo! Awoo!
It stops. These little hops kind of,
Opening 2 bar stick.
Oh, it looks so cute.
and it stops at about that, that 30-foot edge outside of the campsite.
Call
Just
me.
there.
What do you want? You trying to take our stuff?
She's kind of looking over in your direction.
Does it only? Are you speaking to?
I'm just
me
gonna go
again?
walk over.
Okay. You walk over towards it, kind of trudging out of the top of the cliff side where the tree is, kind of down into the space towards it. Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Come on, roll bad.
Okay, I did. 8.
8. Okay.
Uh-oh.
As you walk towards it, it kind of
This is so poetic.
gives this like pulse glow to it. The rest of you watch Fern walk towards it and just kind of walk past it. And just keep walking.
Uh-oh.
You
Where's
see-
she going?
She's just walking away from camp.
Whoa, now.
Fern?
I'm
Fern!
gonna run in that direction.
Can I reach out?
Trying to get the.
Yeah. You the pulse hits you. And you're supposed to go this way. You're supposed to go this way. And you just kind of like go into a light jog away from camp.
Fern, where are you going?
I'm running full speed.
You're in full speed?
Mhm.
Towards her, towards the ferry?
Towards her.
Okay.
Going around the ferry, whatever the fuck that was.
Okay. You go kind of like just running past it to get to?
I'm fast, so I'm gonna just beeline. I'm like, oh fuck that thing and run. Yeah, just
Okay. You run around.
yeah.
Guys, I think we call
Gross.
it a loss.
You catch up to Fern, and Fern's just kind of like jogging on for a second.
Whoa.
And you stop at about, from where you were, you go about 30 or so feet, and then you just stop, and you see her standing dazed.
Hey.
You you hear this like strange tugging slither sound.
Uh-oh.
And you glance over and you see the fairy moving over to you, but it's not jumping and flitting. It's just like, you glance down and you see that where the feet are, there is a tendril, some sort of a long snake-like vine, and it pulses. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
A little anglerfish situation.
What are those fish with the
Angler's
little
the angler.
Angler.
Yeah.
18.
Oh.
18. Once again, you feel it, and you put it aside, and you see it still continue to withdraw. And as you kind of see where it pulls back slightly, the wing's still kind of doing this, but now that you're close up to it, you can see the features on it are kind of soft and vague, and it looks like an approximation of what a fairy-type human would look like. And as you watch it withdraw a bit, and you see Fern just kind of standing there, the rest of the jungle floor in the vicinity around you see drawing inward, about 15 to 20 feet of vines and roots shifting as one of the nearby trees was not a tree at all, but a large 15-foot tall craned-like plant creature with a heavy sharpened beak and a whole mane of darkened red blood-like colored leaves as these tentacle-type vines begin to unravel around in its mouth.
Oh, God.
Opens up, the single vine-like lure glaring in front. We're gonna pick up there next week.
Feed me, Seymour. Feed me all night long.
Now, road trip adventures are a good way for a party to gain experience because of these random encounters. Like I said before, it also gives scope to the distance between places, and that's an important and necessary part of D&D adventures. Eventually, as a party levels up and they get movement spells like teleport and whatnot, the world will seem a lot smaller because they're able to hop around from place to place more easily, but at least for now, we're able to get a feel of the distance between places. Now, even in novels, I'm not crazy about road trip portions. Like in The Lord of the Rings, the journey of Frodo and Sam is necessary to set the stakes and show how arduous their quest truly is, but I don't know anyone where that is a favorite part of the story. Now, arguably, there are many road trips in Lord of the Rings, and I actually enjoyed the journey from the Shire to Rivendell. But our favorite parts are usually what happens at the end of the journey, but the story wouldn't feel as epic without those road trips to get there. This episode is no different. We needed it, but it's a transitional episode to get from point A to point B. Next week, I am sure we'll find ourselves in Heartmoor for the next chapter in the story. I do recaps every week. If you missed last week's recap, you can find that video right here. Until we meet again, may all the books you read and the campaigns you play in be blessed.